big series. I know y'all have even some new bleachers. It's expecting it to be just about as crazy as it's been all season.
Yeah, I would think so. As long as we get, obviously the weather looks like it's going to play a little bit of a role. We'll do everything we can to try and get tomorrow's game in, avoid a doubleheader. But I think beyond tomorrow, so far it looks pretty good. So I know fans are excited. We're excited. Got a big crowd expected for sure.
Notice y'all made a little switch at the first base coach in that last game. What was the decision behind that? And is that something that y'all are going to roll with this weekend?
Yeah, it's something we'll continue to move forward. It's something that we've been talking about actually for a couple years to get him in the dugout, be around the hitters. He does a good job with game planning. It's not about, you don't coach swings during games. It's more about approach and hey, what's this pitcher trying to do to you? We thought he was going to be this, and oh wow, he's changed. He's doing something different, and just helping the guys as they get ready for their at bats. And so I think it's a good thing. So we'll keep a player out there, more than likely Ryan, until we need him to come in the game. But I don't like switching it up. Going back and forth different games. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it and continue moving forward.
What was it about Ryan that made him good for that role?
Well, obviously his experience. He knows the offense. He knows the signs. He knows everything that we do. So he's super intelligent and has a great feel for the game and knows where to stand, I think. I mean, for the most part, there's not a ton of role for the first base coach other than helping out, on the base running side of things. Base coaches are overrated. You really only need a base coach. You really only need a first base coach when you have runners at first and second. When the first baseman's playing behind you, that's when you need some help. But the rest of it, there's no real coaching that goes on. You're just making sure guys know the outs and know the signs.
Any concern with the fact that you dropped the last two series, or is that just kind of how baseball goes?
No, of course it's a concern. It sucks. I mean, it's brutal. I mean, we played poorly. The other teams played well. But we've also played really well leading up to that point. So I think we've put together overall a great season, and I don't think you judge any team, just like I wouldn't judge you, I hope, on your 3 worst days or 4 worst days of your life, right? So judge us on the whole season. But yeah, it hasn't been good. It's not acceptable, and we're looking to change it this weekend. The opponent's going to be tough. But again, the goal, I go back to, I talk about it all the time, what do people consider a great season? Do they consider the entirety of the season, or do they consider the postseason? I think at the end of the day, we want to win games in the postseason, and so we just need to get our team playing well and at its healthiest at the right time.
You talked about having a coach in the dugout helping players with their approach at the plate, and obviously with Arkansas's pitching staff, that's pretty critical this weekend.
Yeah, it's critical every weekend, but yeah, this is the best pitching staff that we'll see. Hagen Smith is right there. He does it differently than Paul Skeens, but he has this very similar numbers. He could be in the big leagues this time next year. So, but it's way more than just him. There's a lot of depth to the bullpen, but they're human too. They can have bad days, and we can have good days. So, we'll take our chances.
You guys excited with the fact that it's 2 teams ranked in the top 5? Would probably be what people around the country in college baseball would call the marquee matchup in the country. Yeah,
it's exciting. It's why you come to Texas A&M, is to be a part of atmospheres like this and games like this in a conference like this. You have ESPN's top broadcast team coming in, and Tom Hart, Kyle Peterson, good friends of mine, and so that's exciting. But this is why you come here. This is the big leagues of college baseball. This doesn't happen for the most part other places, and so it's exciting to be a part of that.
You looking forward to their mid-game conversation with you? That didn't seem to go so well last year at times.
It's actually gone better the last couple times, but yeah, man, it's just part of the fun of the game, especially when Tom Hart, Kyle Peterson, those are longtime friends of mine. I recruited KP in high school actually a long time ago out of Omaha, so getting to talk to those guys is fine and helps promote your program, and players, especially recruits, want to have a feel for the personality of the coaches and the coaching staff and the program. So it's all good stuff. I mean, I wish we could record them. Literally, like I think in the major leagues leading the postseason, I think that's how they do it. They record them in between innings and then play them during the inning. I wish we could do that instead of have it be live, but that's okay.
Jim, in your ideal Blue Bell Park world, or what, 2 or 3 years from now, whenever it would be, what would this stadium look like, and what would the capacity be on it?
You know, I mean, I think we obviously have, at the current time, we're planning on staying in this footprint. So we have physical limitations as to how far out we can go. We can certainly go up, but you also have the sun to deal with out in right field. So for me, I mean, I was hoping anywhere from 12 to 15,000 because I think this school and the 12th man deserves that. But it's probably going to be closer to 10-ish with a lot of standing room space. A lot of, you know, if you have a 360-degree concourse, you have pretty much everywhere where you can walk, there would be like a drink rail, if you know what I'm talking about. So where people, you could sell, say you had 10,000 roughly seats, where you could sell another couple, 1,500, 2,000 standing room only, where people can just find a spot. So I would love for it to be, you know, left field would be really cool. All your best seats would be down the left field line, third base line, left field, because you don't have to look back into the sun. When I say best seat, the most high priced seats, right? And your opportunity to go up maybe in the outfield. So the renderings that we've seen to this point, if we're able to do that, holy cow. I mean, that's going to be awesome, and I can't wait for the public to see that. But that's all determined on, we've sent out a seat study, and people need to, I've said before, people need to answer it and answer it honestly, because it's all about what you can afford, and hopefully we can, that study comes back and looks like that $80 million number is something we can get to or beyond. And if it's not, then just like anything else, then you have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what you can do.
What kind of boost do you think Ted brings to the lineup? I know we saw a bit of that on Sunday, but what kind of impact does he make there?
I mean, huge. He had a stretch where he had, 5 homers in 4 days or 4 games. He just stretches the lineup. I mean, the strength of our team is, for the most part, on the offensive side, and so when you take a big piece of that out, then it affects everybody, moves everybody up, puts them in different spots. Not that we're not capable. We won games without Ted, but he's a big bat, and have that coming up there, right-handed power. We get from the right side, what do you got? Grahovic, Montgomery, Ollie's run into a few balls, but having that extra right-handed bat and balancing out the lineup. And he's played a really good first base, but Caden did a really nice job playing in place of him. But it's, in terms of power production, even though Caden's he's run into a few balls, and he likes to tell me how much his power's coming. I see it. I actually watch every swing. So I go to the practices and I'm at the games, most of them. So I see what the guys are capable of doing. But Caden's getting better really quick, and Teddy's a special player.
Rotation looking the same with Breaker, Lampkin,
probably no. I mean, the weather will play a role in that. I'm not going to bring Shane back on. Everybody's got to come back on 1 day's less rest, so I'm not going to bring Shane back on 2. So the whole TBA thing would be the middle game, and so we'll just get through the first game. Hopefully that's tomorrow. See what happens. See how it looks. Get a chance to see Arkansas with our own eyes, and then we'll make a decision on the middle game, and more than likely have Shane pitch the third game.
If there's weather, would there be the possibility that Sunday could come into play?
It is during every weekend, but this weekend that is not a possibility. But this weekend it is a possibility, but that would only be if we had rain like all day Thursday, all day Friday, and you had to play on Sunday. It's not like you get to say, well, it's going to be pretty Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so we'll play. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if it's looking like tomorrow's going to be in question, we're going to try and wait as long as we can to make a decision. The last report I got looked like the rain could be out by 7 or 8 o'clock, but it's lightning that we may have issues with. But if they said the lightning's gone and you can start at 8, then we'll do that. Otherwise, I think by Friday morning the rain's gone, so that would mean 2 on Friday and 1 on Saturday. You don't get the option in that I know of. The conference has to approve everything. So, we all have games. Looks like Arkansas is, I guess for sure, not going to have to play on Tuesday, and we're still playing for the right to not have to play on Tuesday. So everybody wants to get this weekend over with, so we're not too backed up into the conference tournament.
I know your mentality with your guys is, opening day every day, but how much do you feel like momentum plays a role in some of this, and you want to head into the postseason rolling?
I don't know. I mean, I think, in 2015, I was at TCU, and we had won the regular season, I think, close to it maybe. And we went into the tournament. It was in Tulsa that year instead of Oklahoma City. Had to play a 9 a.m. game. We lost. Had to play the next morning at 9. We lost. And the tournament was over within, we were done playing in 24 hours. And I'll never forget, when I checked my phone, the first text I got was from Augie Garrido. And he said, this is the best thing to ever happen to your team. Go home, get rest, get ready for a regional. So, and then we went to Omaha as, that was the year of the 16-inning game in Fort Worth, or whatever it was, 15-inning game. So I think, we've, again, going back to his question, the entirety of the season is what matters, and having a healthy, rested, strong team is what is most important. So I think every team has its own story. Hopefully our story is we had 2 rough weekends, and we got things going this weekend in the conference tournament, but it may not be that, So there's all kinds of different stories. There's an Ole Miss story. There's LSU from last year that was dominant throughout the course of most of the season. So who knows what our story is going to be. That could be playing at home in the postseason. That could be playing on the road. But I have confidence in our team regardless of where we're playing.
Your guys excited about coming home, finishing the regular season, and Arkansas being here? I mean, because that I talked about earlier, it's a big series for everybody, even the fans of the stands.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's just, it's just the same question you asked me. I mean, it's awesome. We have senior day, I have a couple guys to celebrate that way at some point. Crowd should be great. Just hope the weather clears up so we can really enjoy the whole atmosphere.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thank you.